joined now by James Causey, who's one of our editorial columnists, and from Madison we've got Jason Stein, who can fill us in on the budget doing. So we should say Happy New Year, at least Happy New Fiscal Year. We don't have a budget yet. We're into the new stage. We do have a deal. Jason, this is a deal, but is it a deal when one of the legislative leaders says, I don't really have the votes to pass the deal? Give us a sense of what's happening on the budget right now.
Well, I think it got billed. Yesterday's announcement got billed as, well, we're going to have a budget deal. I mean, what they really had was they had an agreement to get the budget bill moving again. I mean, it had been stuck in the Joint Finance Committee for a month, and they got a deal to get it kicked out today or sometime after midnight, early Friday morning. I was just over there about 10 minutes ago. And then, you got to get into your old-fashioned arm twisting, leg twisting to get the votes to get it through the Senate. I think that will happen, but obviously they're not there yet.
There's still a lot of dealing. They say there's a deal, but that's what's going to be going on, where people are, as he said, arm twisting, making offers and swapping and trying to get people to get on board for the deal. But this happens almost every time, where you're close to a deal and then a few people are holding out. Prevailing wage will be one of the things they discuss. But that's so they say they have a deal, but now this is when the real wheeling and dealing occurs.
Yeah, let me ask you, Jason, so one of the parts of it that there seems to be more of a consensus on is the zoo interchange and the transportation budget, and they're taking prevailing wage and the Bucks Arena out of the budget. They think that'll maybe make it easier to move. But talk on the transportation. So the zoo, is it going to be delayed, not delayed? Where does that come down?
They split the baby a little bit on that one. Basically what happens is, the zoo interchange, busiest interchange in the state, brings together interstates 94 and 894 and highway 45. And so the work that you see going on there west of Milwaukee will continue and will get finished. So if those contracts have been let, they'll get finished. But the next phase of that work, which would be the north side of the interchange involving US Highway 45, that will be delayed for some unspecified period of time, the start of that work.
All right, James, what's your take on how does this all look, especially in the backdrop of Scott Walker says we get things done in Wisconsin? Is this coming together all right for him or not?
Well, they do take time to get done. It's interesting that they had to take the Buck side of this budget. I don't think any Democrats would have voted for the budget as it was. So I don't know if this makes it may make it a little bit easier for Democrats to get on board with the Bucks Arena. That's a really big piece of it. But it will eventually get done. It's just going to take a lot of arm wrangling.